This is the first Gibson guitar I ever bought. It's a 95 Les Paul Studio. I bought it brand new about 30 years ago. And for me, it's a great guitar. And for decades, it was the only Gibson I owned until now. Because over the last couple of months, I bought 6 brand new Gibson guitars. All of them were made in 2025. And unfortunately, every single one of them had issues. Some small ones and some very serious ones. So at some point I started documenting everything. And without really planning it, I started my own little Gibson experiment. Well, that can be good. And it's basically something with the neck. If you look at the low E string, one question, can Gibson still make a great guitar? Yeah, that's a used guitar. And I paid full price for it, like an idiot. And it sounds amazing. And yes, I say it has I think this guitar has a mojo to it. It's just. But this is how I got it. After they put the sticker on the box, inspected by Gibson Quality Control. But before I show you the guitars that I bought, I want to give you some context to the story. So let's start at the beginning. So I got this guitar 30 years ago. It's a Les Paul Studio. It's one of the cheaper models that you could get, but still with a price tag of $1,200 back then. It was a dream guitar that I could not afford. But one lucky day, one of my bandmates got a big paycheck from his job. It was the 90s, and he worked in the clubbing business. Let's put it that way. So yeah, we bought the guitar. We bought also a Marshall amp and some other equipment. And a couple of months later, when the band broke up, my friend who paid for everything said I could keep the guitar or the amp. And looking back, I'm very happy that I kept the Les Paul. Because it has been with me in every band I ever played. I think I used it on most of the things that I recorded. It moved with me to every place I ever lived since I moved out from my parents' home. It even has a mark on its neck from the ring that my first girlfriend gave me and that I used to wear on my thumb. So yeah, if this house burns down, this is the guitar that I would grab. Even though I have more valuable instruments now, but this is the one that I would grab. After the family is safe, of course. And maybe the dog. So I would grab the dog as well. Or maybe another guitar. So yeah, this is my Lucille, if you know what I mean. So fast forward to 2025. Last year I had a big anniversary coming up. And I always wanted to have a 335. So I thought I'd treat myself. As you can see, I'm a middle-aged guy who played in a couple of shitty bands for the last 30 years. You probably guess what kind of anniversary that was, right? Let me grab a drink. So yeah, but I didn't get the 335. I tried one out in a local store, but I didn't like the sound of it. I couldn't connect with the guitar, and I moved on. And I ended up looking at the SGs. So at this point, let me give you a quick overview of the guitars that I bought. I didn't buy 6 different Gibson models. I actually bought 2 SGs, the 61 reissue, 3 Les Paul specials in TV yellow, all the same model. And the last one I got was the Les Paul standard, the 50s one. That one was a Gibson exclusive. But the important part, every single one of those guitars were brand new, built in 2025, Nashville, Tennessee, and I got them directly from Gibson. So there was no additional quality control by any dealer or any other company, only Gibson's own quality control. Now, before we go any further, I want to make one thing very clear. I have nothing against Gibson as a brand. Quite the opposite is true, as I told you the story with my first guitar. And this is also not a review about any of those specific guitars. The way I see it, it's a brand review more than anything, really. I'm very much aware of the fact that Gibson is a controversial topic in the guitar community, especially when it comes to the craftsmanship, the quality control. But what I want to show you are simply the facts. As a regular guy, not a YouTuber, I'm not a dealer, I'm just a regular guy that basically by accident bought 6 brand new Gibson guitars within a couple of months. I will show you all the guitars, I will tell you what I paid for them, and you can make up your own mind and decide for yourself if Gibson still makes great guitars or not. So let's start with the SGs, the first new Gibsons that I bought after almost 30 years. This is the 61 reissue model. I bought 2 of them. The only reason for this is that one of them was listed as B-stock. And just in case I ordered a regular priced one, just in case I would not be happy with the B-stock. As I said before, I got all the guitars directly from Gibson because almost all of them, except one, I got from Thomann, big European music store, online store. And what they do, they don't open the boxes. They don't do an additional quality control or anything like that. But this is not about Thomann. Thomann is a great company in my opinion. It's just their business model. They don't open the boxes. They don't do a quality control. Therefore, they have, most of the time, they have the best prices. One of the guitars, the regular priced one, came to me sealed by Gibson. And the other one was opened because it was listed as a B-stock. And my guess is that some guy bought it, or girl, some other customer bought it, and did send it back, and then Thomann listed it as a B-stock. This is actually the B-stock. The regular one costs 1,900 bucks, and this one was 1,700, I believe. First of all, when I opened the case, I noticed the amazing smell. Yeah, it still smells like this. It's the Gibson smell. I know it's just a nitro finish, but that's something that you can't take away from them. Their guitars, they smell amazing. It's addictive, as you will see in the video. I could swear it smells exactly like my Les Paul smelled when I first got it. The specs real quick. This is the, again, 61 reissue. It has a slim tapered neck, so it's quite comfortable to play. And it has the burst pucker pickups in it. And it sounds amazing. And yes, I say it has I think this guitar has a mojo to it. It sounds really, really good. And I think it looks beautiful as well. So those were the positives. Now let's talk about quality control and the problems that I had with both of the guitars. Let me start with the first one. By the way, I cannot show you footage of the first guitar, of the one that I didn't keep, because at this point, of course, I was not aware that I will make a video about all the future Gibsons that I will buy. I had no idea. But I have a picture with both of them together. And I had some shots of the guitar downstairs at my kitchen table with different angles and all this fancy stuff, but I lost it because I'm an idiot. So please bear with me on this one. This is the only guitar that I will show you in this setting. So let's talk about quality control. The first guitar, the regular priced one, it had a dead volume pot out of the box, which unfortunately for me is a deal breaker, especially on an electric guitar. So that did not work. And the pot was also very hard to turn compared to the other ones. And I don't claim to know how Gibson does their quality control, but I would guess they would turn the knobs and check them. and you could definitely feel it. I felt it right away. So I kept the B stock because, first of all, it works, which is good. And the issue that B stock has, I think that was the reason why it was listed as a B stock in the first place. It appears to have like 2 scratches on one of the horns. But at closer inspection, and at least in my opinion, those 2 scratches to me look more like something that happened when they polished the clear coat of the guitar, of the lacquer. I don't know. What do you think? Yeah, for me that doesn't look like a scratch. It looks like something went wrong while polishing the guitar. That's one thing, but that's not a big deal for me. I mean, it's a nitro finish, so it will scratch and relic after a couple of minutes most of the time. So the second thing that I noticed was the bridge and the saddles specifically. Those are razor sharp. And I know the quote, you play until your fingers bleed. But I mean, this is quite literally, I mean, you will cut yourself while playing this guitar for sure. So at one point, I will have to take a file to this almost $2,000 guitar that I got brand new from Gibson. And yeah, file the saddles down, I guess. Thank you. I don't know. I mean, my feedback, my suggestion to Gibson would be file those things down at the factory if possible, or at least add something like this to your case candy. Okay, sorry about the quality and everything, but I just had a major breakthrough. I was kind of stuck while editing the video. At this point, I've been through all the guitars, and I was just looking for a way to collect all the findings, to track it and write it down somehow. But I wasn't sure how to, because at this point, yeah, I was just sorry, I haven't shaved and everything, haven't slept in 2 days. What's going on here? I was missing something. I was looking for a way to... The dog is going crazy. So anyway, after a lot of work, I came up with this tool. Have a look. That's the Gibson Scorecard. Isn't that amazing? So you have all the guitars, you have added categories like finish, build quality, hardware. That way we can collect all the findings in this experiment. But then I thought, this goes way beyond the video. This is something, let's imagine for a second, if Gibson would use something like this at the end of their production line, before they ship the guitars. If they would use something like this and somebody would check finish and build quality and those kind of things, then they wouldn't have any issues with quality, right? I'm not sure, but I think I'm sitting on a gold mine here. Because I could probably sell this for a lot of money, right? I mean, if you just imagine if they would have something like that. Problem solved. Because I think I've never seen that in a Gibson guitar. I can check one of the cases. I have the SG here. Just give me a second. Can I turn the camera around? No, I can't. So I have to show it to you like this. Can you see it? Hold on a second. Now I have the microphone and everything. Stuck this right here. Now the dog is coming. Go away. Go away, dog. No. Go away. Jesus. Chewy, bleib, stay. No. You're gonna kill me. Go, sit. Sorry about that. Go away. So let me check. That's useless. So, what is this? Oh, fuck. They have it. Never mind. Well, that's disappointing. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you, but it seems to have something like this. They call it pre-pack checklist. Let me show it to you. So this is the way this looks. And it seems like I think I found what the problem is with this. That's the checklist from my SG, the B stock that I kept. And can you see what they did at when they come to top and back at exterior finish? I think that must be the finish, right? And I mean, you saw the guitar, you saw the scratches at the horn, right? And also bridge and saddle. There's a check mark. So that means the bridge should be that sharp. I feel like an idiot right now. But on the other hand, as you have seen, I think I found the problem. They're only using check marks. So I was continuing to improve my scorecard, because if you have only check marks, then everything is okay, right? But you need more than check marks. Because if you have issues like this guitar obviously had, then you cannot check mark that. That would be crazy. So I added this to my scorecard. So not everything is lost. You can mark an issue with let's say, an X. Or if it's just a minor issue, then you put a minus, right? And if it's no issue, then you put a check mark on it. So at this point, I don't believe I will get a lot of money for this, but still, I mean, that's 2 more symbols than Gibson has. Anyway, I will use the scorecard for the video, and then we see what's happening. Anyway. Okay. So let's get serious for a second. Let's actually use the Gibson scorecard. And I want to add the first SGs. Let me give you a quick overview of the categories. Finish refers to overall quality, the paint and the lacquer, including consistency, imperfections, and cosmetic flaws, basically. Build quality covers the overall construction of the guitar, including alignment, assembly, those kind of things, and how well everything is put together. Hardware, all the physical components like bridge, tuners, knobs, and whether they function properly and feel solid. Electronics is of course pickups, wiring, all the electrical components, and everything that affects the signal and the output. Playability, that's a tricky one in this case. Usually I would say playability is of course how good the guitar feels to play and how good the setup is, but I won't talk about setup at this point. I will tell you why in a second. Playability refers in this scorecard if the guitar is actually playable in its condition. And overall is the overall impression of the guitar, taking all the categories into account. And at this point I will also give you my personal opinion if I would keep this guitar. And if or if not, it should have left the factory in this condition. So just quickly regarding setup, I've decided not to talk about setup for every single guitar, because in general all the guitars were set up okay, but barely okay. For all the 6 guitars, it's basically the same thing. All of them would need to go to a good setup, including neck adjustment, action adjustment. It was in most cases a little bit high. Same with nut. The nut slots are in general too high. So you would get sharp notes at the first frets. You would need to file the nut slots down. And the string radius doesn't match the fretboard radius. So to do that, and I have done this with a couple of my guitars, you would also, if you have an ABR1 bridge that is, you would also have to file down the saddles. None of the guitars had polished frets, and one of them was even, I think, built in December, and I received it in December. So there is no corrosion going on or anything, which can happen over time. These are all brand new guitars. None of them had polished frets. That's maybe something they keep for the custom shop. Spoiler, they won't. You won't get polished frets at the custom shop. So to sum up the setup, you won't get a perfectly set up guitar from Gibson at this price point, which is true for most brands, but some take a little bit more effort, I think, than Gibson does, in my experience. So, but now let's actually use the scorecard, and let's add the first SG. Okay, the first SG, you haven't seen this guitar, but I have, so I can still score it, I guess. So let's start. Finish was okay. There was nothing that I could see that was wrong finish-wise with this guitar. The build quality, same thing, check mark. Hardware, as I told you, one of the knobs was really hard to turn at some range. That's an issue, in my opinion. And the electronics, one of the pots was dead, so that's an issue. Playability, yeah, it's a minor issue, I guess, because you could still use one of the pickups, right? So I didn't quite put it as a big issue, but it's a minor issue. So now in the mother of pearl inlay, overall, yeah, this guitar has issues. In my opinion, I would not, and I have not kept this guitar, and I think it should never have left the factory in that state. Yeah, because it was broken. I mean, if 1 out of 2 pickups is not working, then the guitar is not working. Okay, let's add the second SG. That's mine, the one that I've kept. The B-stock. Let's have a look at this. And actually we can compare it to this sheet, because Gibson did a pre-pack checklist on this one. So the finish, as you can see, they only have a check mark, I think. That's why everything is okay here. But in reality, the finish, you've seen the guitar. I mean, it was scratched up at the horn or not polished in the right way. So that was an issue. The build quality in general is okay. Hardware, I think the bridge is still an issue, even if they claim it's okay. If you have to go to a hospital after playing an instrument, I think that's an issue. I don't know if everybody feels the same way about this, but I do. So I think the hardware had an issue. Electronics were fine, both pickups work. Playability, I put a minor issue here, because the playability is good, but only up to 5 minutes, because then you will hurt yourself. So overall, I think the guitar has minor issues, and that could be completely different for other people. Yes, the lacquer is not perfect, and yes, the bridge is too sharp. But again, for me, in this specific case, I've got it cheaper, and I don't mind the lacquer issue. And the bridge, I will file that down. I'm up for that. Should it have left the factory in this condition? No, I don't think so. And this is whoever signed this, yeah, should get an eye exam, I think. So to sum up, the first 2 Gibson made in USA guitars had issues. One was, in my opinion, unplayable because it did not work. And the other one had two issues, as I told you. I don't know, at this price point, those instruments shouldn't have left the factory in that state. Maybe I'm a little bit picky, but yeah, I think they shouldn't have left the factory like that. But at this point, I wasn't mad at Gibson or anything like that. Certainly not to the point where I was going to make a video and expose them for the bad quality or anything like that, no. I was surprised. 2 out of 2 is not a good look. But I was happy with my SG, still am. I think it's a great guitar. So not long after that, I got my next Gibson USA. Or actually, I got 3 of them. So next up are the Les Paul Specials. And I will meet you downstairs at our dining table. And disclaimer, this is not a sponsored video. I'm not sponsored by Gibson. All of these guitars that you're about to see and that we talk about are bought with my wife's money. That's funny because it's true. Yeah, let's have a closer look. Let's start with the first one of the Les Paul Specials that I got. That was actually a birthday present, which was really nice from my wife again. Thank you, honey. Yeah, so I got this, and it's yeah, I took it out. I always wanted first of all, I wanted a solid body guitar with P90s. I have an Epiphone. I have a guitar with P90s. The Epiphone, how is it called? The Casino. But that's a hollow body guitar, and I thought that must be quite different to this guitar. Let's put it that way. So I wanted the Les Paul Special for that reason, for the P90s. Also, I think the TV yellow story is quite nice. I don't know if it's true, but you know, the basic idea is that back in the days when they had black and white TV, like a white guitar, which I don't know. Obviously, lots of people played white guitars back then. I'm not sure. But a white guitar would appear too bright on a black and white screen. They painted the guitars in yellow because that would look white on a black and white TV. I think what's really important when I first took this guitar out of the case, and I saw videos of the guitar, and on the videos, and probably on this video as well, it looks more like butterscotch, but actually it's like, how can I describe it? It's if you go out for like, let's say the whole night and you're drinking a lot, and the last thing that you eat after partying is like an American hot dog, and you puke, that's basically the color of this guitar. No, but honestly, it's not like a butterscotch. It's like, it has a greenish tint. It's like mustardy, I would say. And I guess you can see it here on the video, but you have to see it in person. It's not a bad color. It's also a little bit translucent, so you see the grain. And there will be examples of nice wood grain in one of the other ones that I have. But in this one, you can see a little bit of the grain. And again, all of the 3, that was something that I was quite curious. All of the 3 that I have right now have the same greenish puke, American hot dog mustard-ish tone. What did I not tell you about the guitar? Well, I didn't tell you anything so far. I liked the Special because it's, first of all, it's simple. I'm not a huge Les Paul fan, to be quite honest, but I love the sound of P90s, and these ones are pretty good. I think they are the same that they use in the Gold Top, in the Les Paul 50s Gold Top, I believe, but I'm not sure. Gibson is not very specific about the technical details of these pickups, but they sound pretty good. And I don't have the Gold Top to compare them. The specs real quick: mahogany neck and body, rosewood fingerboard, really nice one, really nice and dark. It almost looks like ebony, which in this case I think it looks really nice with the black hardware. Wraparound tailpiece, it's as simple as it gets. It's just basically a piece of wood. And it's really, really light in this specific case. So when I first took it out of the case, I noticed the puke color or the vomit color, but also that this guitar is really light. It's 3.1 kilos. I weighed it. Alexa, wie viel sind 3.1 Kilo in Pfund?
3,1 Kilogramm sind 6,2 Pfund.
There you have it, 6,2 Pfund, which is 6.2 pounds. So it's really, really light, which is great for a Les Paul. Again, the old studio that I have, the Studio Les Paul, it's like 5 kilos, or at least it feels like that. But this feels more like the SG that I have, which is also like 3.1 kilograms, I guess. So it's a really nice light guitar, easy to play. It has the it has a little bit of more of a chunky neck, like a 50s style neck, but not what you would call a baseball bat neck. It's a little bit slit. It's really nice to play. Compared to the SG that I have, it's a 60s tapered neck that is slimmer. So if you know that one or a similar one, you know, that's a little bit bigger, but it's not chunky by any means. It's a nice feeling neck profile. Other than that, I mean, it has the old school tuners. Where do you have them there? I don't know how they could call them, but it's, I mean, they work. It stays in tune. Other than that, yeah, that's about the guitar. It's a basic Gibson 3-toggle switch for neck and bridge pickup. You have tone and volume, of course. You have 6 strings, which is always good. That's about the guitar, at least what I want to talk about. Let's go to the problems that this specific one has. The first thing that I noticed was a light issue with the lacquer. I don't know if you see it, but basically here and here, so at the neck joint, there is something that looks like, I don't know if you can see it. I will put some pictures in because you can only see it in a specific, when the light hits it a specific way. It looks like orange peelish, or maybe like if they didn't use enough grain filler, but they usually use a grain filler for the guitars before they do the paint job. And it looks like this doesn't have it here on the neck joint. But that's not a big issue for me. I'm fine with that. That's not, let's put it back in frame here. That's not the issue that I have. I noticed it, but it's whatever. They say it's hard and difficult to work with nitro finishes. Gibson only does it since, I don't know, 80 years or something. So yeah, it's not that easy. The thing that I noticed though, after I played it and after I took off the plastic wrap on the pickguard, which is always for me the moment when I say, this is my guitar now, there is no going back. As you can see, I have some scratches here already. So I noticed that after that, and I noticed it not visually, but when I played it, something was wrong up here. And I play like John Lennon. Something felt a little bit wrong up here. And if you take a closer look on the low E string, so basically it starts here at the first fret, like most guitars, and it goes all the way down to the bridge, right? And the issue that I have, or I don't have an issue, the guitar has an issue, is that it goes like this. Like the low E string goes like this, which, let me measure it real quick. At the first fret, I need my glasses. At the first fret, the low E string is, I can't measure it like this. I have to measure it like that, yeah. It's about 3 millimeters away from the neck. On the 12th fret, it's 7 millimeters. And here it's a meter. No, I don't know, but it's getting worse consistently. So it's like this. And I thought, well, probably there's something wrong with the tailpiece, with the wraparound bridge. So, and I still don't know. Maybe you can, if you're Lucia or a guitar tech, maybe you know what the issue is. I'm just a player. either the bridge is not set properly, so like they should have mounted it like a millimeter to the left, so that the low E string goes straight. But then the high E string is almost perfectly straight. So if that would be the case, for my understanding, the low E string would also be crooked, and also the other strings, but that's not the case. So I guess the neck is set not properly, somehow crooked. And you can see, if you just take a look at the dot inlays, and you see the two strings in the middle. Yeah, I guess you can see the issue, right? They are not in the middle, and it already starts here at the third fret. Yeah, and since I saw that, I cannot unsee this. So yeah, this guitar goes back. The issue is I already took off the wrapper, as I told you, and I also threw away the shipping box, which is not a big deal because I bought this guitar, my wife bought it at Thomann, which is the same thing as Sweetwater in the US, like a big European, in this case, store. But they don't check the guitars like Sweetwater does. I lived in the States for a couple of years and I bought a few guitars at Sweetwater. And what they do, first of all, they put candy in every guitar when you buy a guitar, which is nice. But what they also do, they do an inspection of the guitar. They do like a 51-point inspection, so they look at the most important things. And what I've heard is that they send a lot of Gibsons back actually to the factory before they send it out to a customer. It seems like they find a lot of issues. Thomann doesn't do that. They just they ship the guitars as they get it. They get it from the factory in Nashville, in this case, from if it's a Gibson guitar, and they just send it out to the customer, which is good in this case because we can really see what the quality control at Gibson is like, because nobody else is checking if the guitar has any issues. So this is what you get from what I got from Gibson, and we also will see what I got from Gibson when we have a look at the other guitars. This guitar goes back, but since I don't have a shipping box anymore, I ordered 2 other Les Paul specials in TV yellow, because in case one of them is not right or has other issues, I can still choose between 2. And then I sent this one back in the box of the guitar that I keep, right? So that's the plan so far. So now I have 3. So the first Les Paul special, the one that was a birthday present. The finish, yeah, not good. It had the issues at the neck joint. Build quality, I mean, yeah, issue with the neck or bridge. Again, I'm still not sure, but yeah, you saw it. That's the main issue with this guitar, I think. Hardware was okay, electronics good, playability. Again, I told you I noticed the issue while I was playing the guitar. So playability with this neck or with this crooked neck is an issue. It's not good, and overall not good. Should never have left the factory, in my opinion. The paint issue alone is something that should not happen on a Gibson guitar. And the neck, of course, is, yeah, that's just crazy to send something out like this. Should never have left the factory. I would not keep this guitar, and I will not keep this guitar. Let's have a look at the other 2. Should we? Shall we? I don't know. Let's have a look at the other ones. Okay, let's hope for the best. Okay, this one has actually a really nice wood pattern. Is it wood pattern? I don't know, but it looks really cool. fretboard. It's not as bad as the one that I had. The low E string, but still, I mean, let's see. Okay, fretboard looks quite nice. It's all really nice. So far, so good. So this is the second one that I got. Yeah, as you can see, it's a Les Paul Special TV yellow, same thing. The grain though is quite different. It's beautiful, I think at least. It has a beautiful wood grain, nice curves, little nice spot or dot here where you could identify it as your own or as mine. If I'm going to keep it, I'm not sure now, but let's see. So what's the difference? Sound-wise, they sound the same, to be quite honest. Nothing that I could hear that is different sound-wise. I mean, some people say the wood makes a lot of difference. Look-wise, I agree in this case, but the P90s are basically, yeah, it's the same pickups. It's all three of them sound similar, if not the same, so I couldn't hear any difference. The rosewood fingerboard is more like your typical rosewood fingerboard. It's beautiful, it has a nice grain as well, but it's not as dark as the original one, as the first one that I had. I don't know if that's not a deal breaker. I like this one too. Would I prefer to keep the one with the, to have a darker rosewood fingerboard? Yes, I guess so, because most of the guitars that I have with rosewood are like this. But it's still nice. I think it's a nice guitar and a nice fingerboard, right? It has no issues if you have a look with the low E string. I think that's acceptable. It goes a little bit into the fingerboard, but I think it's totally normal. If you compare it, like this, if you have a look at the inlays, at the dot inlays, they are pretty much centered between the two strings. Yeah, so that's good. There are no lacquer issues at the neck joint, as far as I can see. So that's a plus. Also, really nice grain on the back and on the neck. Yeah, it's nice. I think this one looks nicer, to be honest. I think the grain is much nicer on this one. I would have preferred the darker fingerboard from the first one, but it is what it is. The biggest difference though is this is a proper Les Paul. It weighs 3.8 kilograms. I mean, normally Les Pauls go much higher than this or are heavier than this, but compared to the first one, that's almost a kilo heavier. Alexa, wie viel sind 3,8 Kilo in Pfund?
3,8 Kilogramm sind 7,6 Pfund.
That's 7.6 pounds. So it's quite a bit heavier than the first one, and you notice it while playing. So it's out of tune completely, as you can hear, but it's like it's diving a little bit, like this. I mean, a Les Paul is in general not a ergonomical instrument, to be quite honest, right? But this one is, if I try to balance it on my leg here, it wants to die. Playability wise, it's due to the weight. It's not. It doesn't have this wow effect that the first one had. So that's my only issue with that one. Otherwise, I would have been done. And but now I'm not quite sure. Again, it looks beautiful. It's a really nice looking guitar for a puke yellow. In general, for a yellow guitar, it's really nice looking, but it's fucking heavy. I mean, it's proper heavy. It's heavier than most of my guitars. It's definitely heavier than the SG, and it's definitely heavier than the first special that we had a look at. So I'm not quite sure. Maybe let me know in the comments. Let's help me out a little bit on making a decision. Which one should I keep? I mean, the first one is a deal breaker because of the neck, and I don't think that's something that can be fixed easily. I don't know. If you're Lucia or a good tech, maybe you can tell me in the comments. Because otherwise I would probably prefer to keep the first one, because it's lighter, it has the beautiful rosewood fingerboard. But yeah, it's heavy as fuck. It's not like you don't take this and you know and sit on the couch, or I mean, I'm not playing in any bands or something. I don't play in a band. I'm just playing at home, so it doesn't really matter. It will not break my back because I only play sitting. I'm not standing up, but even, you know, I mean, weight in this case matters, and I think I prefer lighter guitars. I definitely prefer the weight of the first one. But it is what it is. This one is more beautiful, but it's heavier. It's like in real life. Sometimes nice things are heavy. So this is me editing the video right now, which takes forever, by the way. It's I don't know why I started this project in the first place, but I have to finish it. So I forgot to mention on the second Les Paul special, there was a small thing on the back on the back of the neck, where you could see the mahogany shining through. It's a reddish tint. So either they didn't spray paint this part completely, or they ran out of paint, I don't know. But that was the only thing that I could find on this one. I know it seems like a small thing, but I still wanted to mention it. Yeah, I don't know. If you would buy a new car and they forget to paint one of the doors, would you be happy with that? Probably not. Again, I couldn't care less, but here you have it. Now back to the scorecard. The second Les Paul, the finish, it's a minor issue. You've seen the pictures, and I know that's a picky complaint to have, but again, it's not perfect. It's not a big thing, and for me personally, I don't mind it at all. I think it's at least a minor issue. Everything else though, build quality is perfect, or yeah, it's good. Hardware, no issues. Electronics, no issues. Playability, no issues. Overall, no issues. I mean, apart from the minor issue at the back of the neck. But this one is actually good. So I'm pretty happy with this one. Again, my personal opinion about this guitar is I love the looks, the wood grain. It's just a little bit heavy, but other than that, it looks really good. So that's this one, number 2. Let's have a look at number 3. So, and this is the third and last one, hopefully last one. Why is this not in frame? To be honest, I just had a quick look at this one. Yeah, this one looks unspectacular, I would say. Is that a word? Probably not. Yeah, it looks grain-wise, the wood grain looks similar to the first one. The rosewood fingerboard is really dry. It's not as dark as the first one, it's similar to the second one. But I don't know what's going on there. Can you see that? Is that some residue from glue or whatever? It looks dirty. It's actually sticky now that I feel it. I don't know what that is. It's maybe just dry wood, but there's also some white residue. I'm not sure. Yeah, but not much to brag about this one. It's just I don't brag about it. It's just a normal one, I would say. There's nothing special, nothing special about this one. Oh, weight-wise, this is 3.4 kilograms. Alexa, wie viel sind 3,4 Kilo in Pfund?
3,4 Kilogramm sind 6,8 Pfund.
6,8 Pfund, 6.8 pounds. So it's in the middle between the three models that I showed you. It's not terribly heavy, it's not terribly light, it's in the middle. Does it dive? Yeah, a little bit. It wants to dive a little bit. It doesn't have the wow effect of the first one, weight-wise. It's just, I don't know, what you probably expect in a Les Paul special. This one, also out of tune, of course. I don't know. What do you think about this one? They're not, let's see, again, I just had a brief look at this one and I thought, well, yeah, it's boring. I just put it back in the case. But basically, there's not much I can see. I mean, the E string it's also a little bit to the, it wants to go in. Yeah, it's probably not great. The dot inlays are more or less centered with the strings, so that's fine. But here, where's this fucking camera again? Kept the tuner on there. Yeah, the E string is more or less acceptable, but I don't know. It's not a biggie though. It's the same issue then with my old one. Probably even a little bit worse. And here it's, yeah. These are minor issues. Don't know why the poker chip is like this sturdy, but I don't know. Yeah. That's the special number 3. So I'm back after fiddling with the settings of the camera, and yeah, nothing works. It's Apple, of course. That's why. That's my next target after Gibson. But yeah, let's continue. This is the third guitar that we looked at. Again, nothing special about this Les Paul special. Let's add this one to the scorecard as well. So the finish, again, the neck joint, the lacquer issue was even worse than at the first one, I think. The build quality was okay. Just let me think, was there another issue with the finish? Yeah, the poker chip. That weird looking poker chip that somebody must have pulled out of their ass. I don't know why you would put something like this on a Gibson guitar. That's just stupid. I mean, at this point, this is just stupid. This is just dumb. How much is this part? The poker chip, is it like 10 cents for Gibson? At some point, somebody must have seen this and thought, well, that's okay. Let's put it on there. I mean, yeah, so for me this is an issue. That's crazy to me. Electronics were okay. Playability was fine. Overall, the third one, minor issues, but yeah, I wouldn't keep this guitar. I'm pretty sure I will not keep this one. Again, I don't think it should have left the factory. The lacquer issues, the poker chip, okay. Yeah. No, but I mean, just send it back, put another poker chip on there, and I don't know what they can do with the paint. I mean, get it right the first time. That's the only thing I can think of. Yeah. So those are the three options that I have right now. And you can see it's a variety of not different qualities. I mean, the last two were pretty good, including this one. I really just have an issue with the first one. Yeah, in general, the guitar itself is a pretty cool one. I love the P90 sound. I love the way it looks. I don't love how heavy some of them are. And I don't love the issues that comes with a few of them. So at this point, I have to finish part one of this video because it's going on way too long already. And the next guitar, which is the last Gibson USA that I bought, deserves its own video. Well, deserve is the wrong word. But there's a lot to cover with this one. Hey, choo-choo. So I hope you enjoyed this part. Stay tuned for the second one. You don't want to miss this because you've now seen 5 of the 6 guitars that I bought, but they are nothing compared to the next one. So stay tuned for this. And as a summary for part 1, yeah, have a look at the scorecard. When it comes to the question, is Gibson still making great guitars? So far it doesn't look good for them. And remember, I don't review the guitars sound-wise, or the shapes or anything like that. I mean, it's Les Pauls and SGs and 335s. All of these models are well established by now. So it makes no sense to make a review about that. I mean, all of the guitars are great. I mean, an SG and a Les Paul Special, a 335, those are one of the greatest guitars ever made. But I'm just looking at the production line that they have right now, 2025. By this time, it's 2026. It took me quite a while to film everything and edit everything. But so far it doesn't look good for the current lineup of Gibson USA guitars. And with that, thanks a lot for watching. If you made it this far, I'm impressed. Yeah, and hopefully you watch the second part as well, because this one is going to be, yeah, special. Say bye, Chewy. You can't see him. Here it is. Here it is. There. Oh, and you see the mess. Hey. All right. Have a good one.